Today, I'm making a small modification to the bottom vents of the Weber Kettle, which are going to make my life a lot easier. On the Weber Kettle, you have two vent systems. You have the top vent, which is on the lid, which is very easy to operate. You can adjust that so you're a quarter open, half open, 3/4 open, just a sliver open, all the way closed when you're shutting it down, fully open when you really want that fire roaring. The bottom vents are another story. They're not as easy to adjust in a fine manner, and let me show you why. In the bottom of the Weber Kettle, you have these three wings. Now your model may be slightly different, but the concept is the same. You move a lever and these open. Now that seems fairly simple. You know, if you want it open this much, there, look, you've got maybe 1/3 of the vent open. You want it open a little more? There, now maybe you're 2/3 open, all the way open. The problem is not these wings. The problem is this control lever and the lack of any sort of markings to show you how open the vent wings are. So right now this is fully open. If I slide it to where it's 2/3 open, there's nothing telling me that here. If I slide it to where it's 1/3 open, there's nothing telling me that here, and it's very close to where the 2/3 open would be. I mean, really all you know is fully closed, fully open. These markings down here don't seem to actually mean much. This is fully open. So in between here and here, there's no way to really accurately tell how open you are. Now, you can put markings on here, and a lot of people do that. Just take a marker, and that's going to be part of my process today. But I'm going to make it a little more permanent. So the first thing I need to do is decide how far open I want my vents before I make my first mark. You could do a straight 50%, but that gives you really two options, 50% and fully open. You could adjust it in between there, but I want a little bit more control. I'm going to do 1/3 and 2/3. So I'm going to move this to what I believe to be about 1/3 open, right about there. I'm going to make my first mark down by the control handle. So here is my first mark, right above the control handle, at what I estimate to be the 1/3 open position. Now I'm going to set it to what I think 2/3 would be. Same as before, I'm now going to make my mark down near the control handle. Here's my second mark at what I estimate to be the 2/3 open position. I'm going to put a little dot above that because I'm going to make that mark different when I make this permanent. So this again is my 1/3 mark. This is my 2/3 mark. I'm going to slide the control handle out of the way, and I'm going to use the Dremel. So there is my 1/3 mark. Now I'm going to move on to the 2/3 mark. There is my 2/3 mark. So if you can see what I did here on the 2/3 mark, I put two little dots next to it. So hopefully I'll remember that's 2/3. This is 1/3. So now, without having to look in the kettle, which you can't see all the time anyway when there's charcoal and food and everything in there, I will be able to move this to the 1/3 position and then to the 2/3 position. And you can see how close those are on here. There's a lot of play in this lever here that means nothing. This is closed. That's 1/3. That's 2/3. Let's check it out from above. So here we are, control handle all the way to the left. Let's move it to the 1/3 marking. There we go. Let's go to 2/3. There we go. Let's try that again. Gonna go to the 1/3 marking. Gonna go to the 2/3 marking. There we go. Go past that more, fully open. That's it. Now, could I have just used a marker like I did to mark the initial spots and left it there? Sure, but those would wear off. Could I have just used a scribing tool to etch it in by hand? Sure, and you can do that. I have a Dremel. I like to take it out every once in a while and make it feel useful. As I said at the beginning, this is a simple mod, but to dial in your temperature on the Weber Kettle, being able to control that bottom vent is actually very critical. And when you can't see how far it's open, because there's food, there's charcoal, there's all sorts of things that prevent you from looking down into the bottom of the kettle to see where those little flap wings are turning, this will make it much easier to dial in that temperature in this kettle. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check out some of the other videos on my channel and consider subscribing. And if you do, click that bell for notifications. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you again soon.